Hello, Marcus. We meet again. Last time, after I've listened to your analysis, it gave me a clearer view on the future economic development. So I'm grateful and honored to invite you again, this time for another round of interview and to share more in-depth investment insights.
Hello, Ben. It is my pleasure. Thank you very much for inviting me to this session again.
Recently, I participated in a Russian financial summit. We studied several topics, the development trends and prospects of the world financial market in 2021.
2021 is indeed a very challenging year.
Many experts predict that the financial crisis is spreading along with the new crown virus. After the epidemic is over, the financial crisis will bankrupt many countries.
Like they say, is the economic crisis of 2021 about to begin?
No one knows the correct answer because the future cannot be predicted. Although it is unpredictable, it can be dealt with. The reason we want to learn economics is also to improve our ability to cope.
I think the most important things for us now is not whether the crisis will come, but we must understand the sign of the coming economic crisis earlier than others and prepare and respond.
Actually, when an economic crisis comes, there are usually several situations. For example, one of the situations is a debt ratio. The financial crisis started from the debt crisis. At present, the total liabilities of shops, stores, enterprises, and governments all over the world is 250 trillion US dollars. This is equivalent to a debt of 32,500 US dollars per person in the whole world.
Yes, speed is a more serious issue than the expansion of debt scale. Even more dangerous is that due to the spread of the epidemic, governments of various countries are implementing many policies to stabilize the economy. Policy to stabilize the economy include the government fiscal policy such as partial tax reduction and exemption, fiscal support, and the central bank monetary policy. The problem is that central banks in many countries are vigorously promoting monetary easing policy. The role of the central bank is to regulate the total amount of money and supply money in an appropriate amount. The virtuous circle of the economy is that monetary easing in the market will drive consumption, and consumption and investment will drive employment and income, which can then drive people market consumption.
This time, the governments of many countries have implemented monetary easing, but consumption, investment, employment, and income are also decreasing, which has no effect. Because the epidemic caused the factories to close, the psychological timidity to stay isolated has caused a reduction in consumption, which meant that the production and demand were drastically reduced. An economic shutdown occurred and money was no longer circulating. As the result, the world's economy were caught in the fear of inflation. The world economy was at the severely low prices before the outbreak. The reason is the development of the e-commerce. It is easy for people to compare prices online, and producers cannot raise prices.
So the rapidly increasing debt will definitely cause problems. I think that the current economic policy of various countries is to postpone today's crisis to tomorrow. But are there any new growth area in the world economy? Obviously not. In the second half of the 20th century, economic development was supported by the growth of industry products such as electronics, vehicles, and energy. In the first 2 decades of the 21st century, the internet economy promoted the development of the global economy. So far, the internet have basically covered the bits and pieces of our life. When a thing develops to the extreme, it is also the time to reach the top. But where is the new round of economic growth? At least not yet found.
But I think the financial technology industry like ours will continue to have a breakthrough growth next year.
This is obsolete because in 2020, the business model of many fintech companies has changed. At present, the development of traditional financial infrastructure on a global scale is close to saturation, and practitioners and investors in the financial technology industry are beginning to look forward to the wind direction next year. In 2021, there may be a hot trend in the field of financial technology.
The change in the concept of financial management will drive the trend, because one of the most important trends in the field of financial technology is related to the transformation of financial management in people's daily lives. The phenomenon of home isolation, telecommuting, and even work stoppage caused by the epidemic has triggered people to think about the financial alternatives under the crisis. In other words, when the unemployment rate rises, the economy collapses, and the familiar concept of money is overturned, people will wonder what should be done.
In other words, the longer the epidemic lasts, the more people will become accustomed to the current lifestyle. They will be more adaptable to new or alternative form of financial product, including smart financial management, online financial lending, payment, wealth management, digital assets, and etc. As I have observed in the Malaysian market at present, other payment methods based on non-cash or illegal currency have emerged. The increase in coverage and utilization rates had undoubtedly accelerated this transition.
After all, the violent fluctuations in the global economy this year have caused a huge change in people's perceptions of the stability of the global financial system. I think the biggest impact of the epidemic on the existing financial system comes from the conceptual level. In the past, financial practitioners always believed that the current financial system is capable of solving the economic shocks caused by the global emergencies. But in the post-epidemic era, I hope that the financial technology colleagues can study more carefully the current inadequacy of smart financial management infrastructure and risk control measures, on how to provide economic assistance to the tens of millions of people affected by the epidemic. This can help people further realize that not only healthcare system is affected by the epidemic, but employment and income have also been severely affected. After the epidemic is over, the financial industry players need to think more about the technological upgrading and the development of innovation platforms on how to play a better role in responding to the next global shocks.
If you talk about the trend, I think the increasingly popular cryptocurrency will soon become one of the key points of the market. Because as people gradually deepen the concept of financial technology and the changes in the traditional financial ecosystem, the concept of cryptocurrency it has also begun to be widely accepted. What do you think about this?
I absolutely agree with this point, because recently high-profile cryptocurrency investments have recently been made by several well-known international institutions, which proves that the cryptocurrency market is expected to usher in a year of a strong growth. Compared with a few years ago, the cryptocurrency market has matured a lot. This year, cryptocurrency market ushered in the strong support of a well-known companies such as PayPal, Square, Facebook, JP Morgan, and Samsung.
As you say, I think encryption technology will continue to play an increasingly important role in the future, because the investment of these international renowned companies will increase the mainstream market recognition of cryptocurrency. And as more and more countries begin to develop central bank digital currencies, CBDC, and use USDT and other stable currency more and more frequently in the decentralized financial system, digital currency may become the new foundation of the global economy. After the epidemic, digital assets will be better integrated into the current monetary system.
This is absolute, because the digital assets are easy to buy and sell and relatively diversified internationally. They are a good way to hedge and diversify risks, and they have a huge growth potential. Therefore, cryptocurrency is bound to gain a greater popularity and spread in the near future. If we look at the financial trends of 2021 with the current world economic situation, the good news is that smart financial investment applications like ours will attract more users because the emergence of the epidemic has made many people to realize the importance of passive income. The online investment and wealth management industry will usher the new peak of the industry.
Yes, I learned about a market research report at an Asian financial research conference some time ago. The survey data point out that driven by the epidemic, a large number of retail investors and traders began to flood the online financial technology field. As you say, new retail investors are looking for new investment income methods. Some retail investors have begun to use online investment platforms to try to create passive income. An intelligent artificial intelligence technology share trading platform like ours will be their best choices.
Looking at the current global economic situation, the financial market trend in 2021 will be continuous financial technology. The reason is simple. All the services currently on the market, such as logistics, cloud storage, Industry 4.0, will continue to be financial technology in the future.
Yes, in fact, this kind of financial technology has been going on for several years, but today technology-based financial services are ubiquitous. Transportation and travel procedures, catering order procedures, accommodation reservation procedures, and etc. all have financial technology services. With the growing desire for big data technology, this trend will continue to become more and more obvious. Just imagine if company can directly access and be good at using cloud big data information, it will mean that a large number of new sources of income can be created.
Like our leading companies in the financial technology field, we need to think more carefully. Although technology companies are generally very efficient and innovative, in the financial field, they do not solely rely on the efficiency and innovation to succeed. In view of borderless nature of financial technology, internalization and integration and development of multiple industries and technologies, risk supervision may require stronger and continuous improvement in order to strike an appropriate balance between innovation and security.
We have done a good job in technical system and risk monitoring, but in order to maintain a competitive advantages, we also need to continue to develop in the information security area.
Wow, this interview full of knowledge and information. I believe your sharing will benefit a lot of people out there, and I will definitely study it thoroughly. Looking forward for your next interview session again and again. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you very much.
You are welcome. Let us all learn from each other and grow together. Thank you for your invitation and professional interview.